This is what I have so far of the styrofoam drawing. I believe I primarily worked on from the afternoon and evening hours. I drew in these ears. I'm pretty sure Lucha Libre masks have holes for the ears so that the mask doesn't obscure hearing by covering up the ears. What I've been doing most recently is essentially coloring in and detailing the yoga pants. This is the top of the yoga pants. And this is the back of the yoga pants. Essentially, the first thing I worked on today was to draw the outline and then color in the hair. I believe that was after I put in the iris and pupils of the eyes. Generally, if you want to do brown eyes, it's better to use a brown Sharpie marker that's starting to dry out rather than a fresh one, because a fresh brown Sharpie marker will be darker than one that's starting to dry out. And thus, with it being darker, it'll be harder to see something that's black, such as the pupil of an eye. But you pretty much have to use fresh Sharpie markers, fresh brown Sharpie markers, if you're going to color the hair or the skin that color, because if a Sharpie marker is starting to dry out, you might not be able to cover the surface of the hair or skin you design with that marker. I settled on a simple but effective design for the face mask. I didn't add it. I only used these two Sharpie markers, as well as at least one of this color, in order to do the yoga pants. I just brought this one out too, so I could have my choice out of the 3 different hues of gray. This is where I am currently on Elvenar. This is one of the outskirts, of which I go around in order to search for bronze shovels, which are the collectibles of this particular episodic event. I haven't been able to research halfling farms yet, since it requires quite a bit of mana. Mana I have some of, but not the required amount of just yet. I don't think I recall really making any significant changes to my city here in Elvenard today. I'm currently here in terms of the task sets. I did this. Oh, I'm at here for the mini game. Dad got these brownies from his parents' place today. After work, he went to Salvatore's where he got this chicken parm for me. I assume he also got one for himself too, or maybe at least something involving pasta, since tonight Salvatore's had a $10 pasta dish special, as they do every Tuesday. It's currently 10:05 p.m. And with the $10 pasta meal comes some garlic bread. He didn't go to Aldi's today. I assumed he had after work, but he hadn't. And when he gave me these brownies, he had me guess which of his hands he had them in. I guessed the right hand. Wait. Yeah, the right hand. But they were really in his left hand, so I lost that little game. Although I think that's entirely luck-based, that one. Around 8:30 p.m., Dad gave me some crackers that I got from Aldi's the other day with some artichoke dip that he also got from Aldi's that day. After sprinkling on some of the Zesty Day Abrol spice. Which is only about 50,000 Scoville units. That one in particular. And then he prepared some more for me in the living room after I had finished the ones I had taken a picture of. Prior to this, I felt like it was only really a good idea to put those spices in soup. Those man crate spices. But those spices seem to be pretty good on that dip. Added some good kick and flavor. I had the first of the leftover pizza at around noon, and then the second with the Mystique barbecue sauce at around 3:45 p.m. I recall getting up somewhere between 10 and 11 in the morning. I had the coffee, I think, from roughly the time I got up, maybe around 10:30 in the morning, to maybe about 2 in the afternoon. Around 10:30 in the morning, was when I had some zinc water, meaning water with drops of a liquid zinc supplement mixed in. It also had some olive oil mixed in, although you can't really mix that into water since it floats on water. I took one sip of it and then dumped it into the sink because the olive oil, had congealed by that point. And so not only does congealed olive oil have a bad texture to it, it doesn't feel good to drink water with something in it, so to speak. And I also just felt like it's a bad idea to drink something that has something congealed in it. And then somewhat later, Dad called me maybe around 11 in the morning, and I told him as such at one point during the relatively short call. After I told Dad why I dumped the zinc/olive oil water into the sink, he suggested that next time I mix the olive oil, and then by doing that, presumably with a spoon, The olive oil will no longer be congealed. I have all of these technologies researched. Out of all of them, I can only activate this one, but I don't really want to because I might get a task set that tells me to activate / research a technology. I think at some point I was able to get a whole bunch of some rune shards for the Dragon Abbey Ancient Wonder, and from there I was able to use broken shards to forge one of the rune slots after filling up this bar. And I did that, I believe, either in the morning or the early afternoon through completing provinces for the current ongoing tournament. I made some progress on filling the rune circle for the Maze of the Dark Matter. I don't really have any silk for the time being, though. And I need it in order to build either of those two new ancient wonders. And this is where I am at currently for the game Forge of Empires. Also, later today, I also went back on that Burrito Bison Lancia Libre game on Congregate, due to me thinking about essentially whether or not a Libre mask has holes for the ears or not. For the ongoing archaeology event, I was able to complete another of the sort of side quest for one of the artifacts, and I started this new one. Currently require me to spend some forge points. And I'm currently here in terms of the quest sets. Relatively early on. I think sometime in the morning or early afternoon, I was able to get access to another upgrade kit for the butterfly house, improving it to this level. I kept going through this mini game for the archaeology event, even after I had already gotten the daily special without even really realizing it, and I had already gotten today's gem, as well as getting it again and instead getting a gem shard. And because I got 650 scrolls upon completing my 30th quest set, and thus all of a sudden I could afford to buy 2 of these packs, which are the most efficient of the packs, at once. And having all of those supplies at once kind of pushed me to keep on going in a sort of way. Because I, in a way, suddenly had at one point eyes for this, since I knew that having more of that butterfly garden set together at once would ultimately make it more powerful in a sort of way. Also, relatively early on today, in order to complete some kind of quest, either today's daily quest or a quest for the event, either a main one or a side quest for one of the clay tablets, I took control of this province right here. But I don't have control of this province yet. And he remembered what I did in order to get that previous province. For the time being, I don't have any room for this building right here. And this one, it has offers less population than the cottage, so isn't really any point in even placing that one. And I have no room for this one, because also while playing that mini game for the archaeology event, I won one of these. Basically got that supply production building early before I had successfully researched and activated this technology, which is necessary in order to gain access to the shoemaker building through the normal route.